Hey Cliff, it's Carly, Shauna's cousin. I was just making a video response because I wanted to say thank you for making the date rape video, and I guess thanks for everybody else who also messaged you and asked you to make one. And I had noticed that you were a little bit hesitant in the video to talk about it, and I realized that it's something really, really hard to talk about when you're not someone who's experienced it yourself. And so I thought I would just make a video to kind of like help you out and give you a little bit more of an insight on it. And for anybody else, like if anybody has questions and they need somebody to talk to, or need to look like a different direction, get a different outlook on things, they can message me on YouTube. I have a Facebook account which I'll post up in the info bar and everything. The one thing I wanted to start off with is I'm on my way to becoming a motivational speaker, and what I'm speaking on is using bad experiences to become successful in life. I just want to show people that your bad experiences, whether it be with an abusive boyfriend, girlfriend, or you've been raped by a stranger, by family, or by a close friend, or you were abused as a child, or even little things such as a breakup or not getting the job or whatever. I just wanted to kind of help people use those negative experiences in a positive way, because I know there is a way. And I have my own experiences. I've struggled with things like depression and anxiety, and I've been experienced with self-harm, and it's a really hard thing to deal with. And insomnia, a lot of people struggle with insomnia, and I still struggle with that myself right now. So yeah, I just wanted to make a video to kind of help you out and help other people out. A little bit of a background on me. My freshman year of high school, the summer going into my freshman year of high school, I was raped twice in the same summer by two different boys, and both of them happened to be at parties. And I realized that a lot of people don't associate parties with rape, and they just they jump to conclusions, and they're like, okay, well, you were drinking, so maybe you should have been more aware, or whatever it could have been. And if you were ever intoxicated and it happened to you, I think that it's important for people to realize that that's still a drug, and when you're under the influence of a drug, it changes your perception on things, and you are still physically incapable of saying yes or no. And when you don't say yes, well, that doesn't mean that should be a surefire no. So that happened to me. And then my freshman year of high school, I had a boyfriend my first high school boyfriend ever, and he was great for a while, and then one day he just kind of went off on me, and he had hit me, and that was something that was hard for me to go through as well. And so I didn't date up until my senior year. I had a boyfriend in between there, and he was a good guy, but we had our differences. Anyway, came senior year, I had gone over to a close friend that I'd known since, I'd known him since first grade. He was a best friend, a boyfriend at one point in time. He's somebody I knew really well, but he had sex problems. He was addicted to sex, and I wasn't drinking that night, but he was, as well as the friend that I went with, and I was taking care of her. And as we bumped in the kitchen, things came to worse, and even after I'd said no 4 or 5 times, strongly, he still forced himself on me, and that's and that was the third time I was raped. And then later that senior year, I had a boyfriend who happened to hit me as well, and I don't know, I'd known him for a while too, so it was really surprising. And so I like understand what it's like to be betrayed by family and or friends, or like, you know, being violated. It's by people that you love and are supposed to love you is extremely hard to understand. But there's like easier ways to deal with things, and one of them is to find somebody that you can open up to, because when you don't have anybody to talk to about it, it's gonna get pent up, and it's gonna get built up in there. I know that, like, it's something that's hard to accept, but there's gonna be a time that you need to accept that things like that happen, and don't hold on to the anger. Don't hate your rapists, no matter how close they were to you, because that only makes your life worse. It doesn't make anything better when you hold on to anger forever, and you know, it's gonna give you trust issues. But another thing in life is that not everybody is gonna betray you, and you just have to be a little bit more open-minded to things. So, I mean, it's extremely difficult to deal with, don't get me wrong, and I've been in the same position as far as rape goes. I don't know what child abuse is like. I lived in a good home forever, but there are ways, I guess there are ways, I don't honestly believe that there's ways to prevent rape, especially when it comes to friends, people that you know. One thing that I wanted to, like, explain is what date rape is, because that's something that not a lot of people realize. Like, they don't know the definition of a date rape, and when people think date rape, they automatically correlate the drug with the term, and that is not always true. There's a really good majority and percentage of people who were raped and know they're rapists. The victim, a lot of the time, knows their attacker, and that needs to be put out in the open, because it is not as common as people think it is to be pulled off into a dark alleyway and raped. It happens, but it doesn't happen as often as you would think it does. So I just wanted to get that out in the open. Date rape is when you know somebody, and that happens, and that includes your family and your friends. Your family, it is a form of rape. Now, there is no difference, like, between, you know, the aftermath of date rape and stranger rape. They're closely similar. I know from what research I've done, most people who are like raped by somebody they know have a little bit more of a difficulty getting over it. It can like ruin relationships with boyfriends and dads even. I mean, I struggle with relationships with my dad and my stepdad, and, you know, my brother and stuff, and it sucks. It's really hard. But yeah, that's just like the gist of it. I'm starting up a blog on my channel for date rape victims and people who are like working on getting over things like this, and I'm opening up an advice blog and things like that. I'll also open up on Stickam so that people can talk and vent or whatever they need. But yeah, I was just wanting to make this video again to thank Cliff, number one, and to let people know that there's others out there that can help you, and I'm open if you ever need to talk. My username on YouTube is Carls Fried, CarlsFried. I'll explain that more later, I suppose. But anyway, yeah, again, thanks, Cliff, and hopefully I'll get some viewers and maybe I can help more people out. Thanks.